Hello. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Satisfactory. My name, of course, is Bowling92, and we are going to start the first major project of this game, for me, at least. I do want to give you all an update on what I was doing outside, off stream. I was able to finish all of Tier 7 and Tier 8. Last time we have drones, of course. So, I'll explain what we are doing with our project in a second. So I have a hazmat suit on, so that's a good thing. I made a blueprint for our project. This is an 8 assembler blueprint. I'll explain why in a second. This is, of course, our aluminum factory. Seems to be working pretty smoothly. Our sulfur factory seems to be working. Which means we have batteries, which we don't. We can't make at the moment because we're running. We have too much water. Hopefully, we'll have enough batteries. Okay, so we have to go to our oil facility. Oh, and of course, we have the sulfur. It's not a train guide. After we finish this mega project, but it is going to be a mega project. I'll explain what the numbers next to me mean. But this project's going to take at least, depending on how good I can do this project might take at least a couple weeks, not maybe into April. Where did they break? Oh, they broke at the bauxite. And the worst part about this whole thing is I can't not let the trains run because the bauxite and the sulfur train deliver make the batteries. It's the power of my drones. Alright, so before we get to the trains, I want to show you I started prepping for the project. Yeah, we're going to fix the trains after we finish our project. So, this little island here is called Battery Island. I have a bunch of batteries. Literally. These are power storage batteries. There's 90 of them right now. They store power for an hour. As you can see, our factory runs on about 7,000 megawatts as of right now. and we are only producing 12,000 megawatts of power. So, the numbers on the side. One of the last times we were here, I was able to unlock rocket fuel. Now, rocket fuel is the best fuel in the game for lots of things. For my jetpack, for the drones, also for power. So, the project is we are going to demolish the big power plant we made last time. And we are going to turn it into a rocket fuel power plant. So, according to my to-do list, I need about 10,000 motors, 9,000 case industrial beams. I need 375 heavy modular frames. I'm basically going to need a whole lot of stuff. How did one train get by at all? How did the quartz train get by at all? Oh, they're all on the one track. So yes, but if we build this mega power plant correctly, we won't ever have to worry about power ever again. All right. You are the bauxite train. You're gonna move. This is why we had to fix our damn trains. They're all on the same freaking track. But the reason why I had to make that battery power, that little... I have not tried Factorio, but I want to. Unfortunately, Factorio is not on my PlayStation at the moment, which is where I'm recording. So, the batteries that I have, to answer your question, yeah, I heard the game Factorio is pretty cool. I want to play it. It's a little different than this one because you have to worry about bug invasions and stuff like that. But I'll definitely check it out. But to answer your question, Abe, yes, our power plant is going to be massive. It's going to have about almost 600 fuel-powered generators. The batteries are for when I have to cut the power, and I'll have an hour of battery backup power in order to finish all of the power plant aspects of it. So, we're going to be doing this in stages. Today's stage, hopefully, before I have to leave today, is we're going to get the 42 assemblers built and running for the compacted coal. Then the next stage after that is getting the nitric acid made and put together. Then what we'll do after that is we'll get the turbo fuel refineries built, Then the rocket fuel refinery is built. Then we will build all of the generators, pipe them all up, make sure that they're all good to go. Yes. For an hour. But we're going to the last thing we're going to do is we are going to, before I cut the power, we are going to, the last thing I do before we cut the power is I got to make sure everything is piped perfectly. Then I would build the fuel the fuel refineries. And once I hook the fuel refineries up, after I cut the power, the system would have an hour to produce rocket fuel to power the generators. So the last thing we're going to do is build the fuel pipes. So we're going to leave the whole power plant running until I am confident that we can make the power plant run efficiently. So today's part of the project is getting the 42 assemblers online, getting them connected to the power grid, getting the sulfur and the coal to the assemblers. So we'll be making about 2,400 rocket fuel a minute, which powers 595 fuel power generators. The reason why rocket fuel is better for power than regular fuel is regular fuel takes 20 fuel a minute to power. Rocket fuel takes 4.17 fuel a minute to burn for power. So you can burn less, you can make more power by using less fuel, which is why there's 595 power generators that will be going over 4 floors. Because rocket fuel in this game it's not a liquid, it's more of like a gas, according to what I've been reading. So we don't have to worry about pumps or anything when it comes to rocket fuel. Alright, so here are the sulfur nodes that we will be using. I also unlocked Mark III miners, but I don't have supercomputers or turbo motors to make them work. So we're just working on Mark II miners. Also, these are all going to be overclocked. And after these are done being overclocked, these will give me about 1,050 coal a minute. This will give me 1,050 sulfur a minute. Which, unfortunately, I don't have the belt to do that. I only have a 780 belt. So, once we unlock the Mark 6 belts, which transport 1,200 a minute, this will actually run efficiently. Yeah, so there's our power plant. The coal and the nitrogen gas are all over. So the nitrogen gas we're using is here. The coal is here. They're all normal nodes. These will be overclocked. This will be overclocked. And we're basically gonna belt this. We're gonna pipe this. We're gonna belt these, and we're gonna put the assemblers like here. Also, these nodes here will also be overclocked as well. But today we're working with this and this to make compacted coal, which we need. And the other reason why I'm not cutting the power yet either is so I can float around and make it easier. But we're going to try to make the assemblers on the lowest platform possible. This is going to be a tall building. Yeah, so basically, and then we're also going to have to sink all of the polymer resin. Instead of making plastic like we're doing, we'll be making, so these are all going to stay on, because if I cut the power now, nothing's going to work, and then it would be almost impossible to get the power back on. So let's go get the coal and the nitrogen gas. Alright, so here's the coal. There's one. There's two. There's three. And there's four. Now these are also going to be all overclocked as well, giving me 300 a minute for a grand total of 1,200 volts. Which, like I said, I won't be able to run it as efficiently as I want, because I don't have a 1,200 belt. But that is for we unlock it. Okay, so the coal has been belted, and the coal has been harvested, ready to go. Now, where is my nitrogen gas? It's there. I don't need jet. Look at that. We're gonna need that. We're gonna need that. Okay. And this is also going to be powered. do I have to power this up first? I'm just trying to figure out where everything is going to be. Yeah, so they're there. That's getting belted over here. This will get belted over here. This will get piped probably down this way. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's go grab the power. Never actually seen anything through that. There we go. That works. Yeah, so these will pump that way, that way. So we are going to be pumping 1,500 nitrogen gas. So that is 2 pipes of 600, 1 pipe of 300. Okay, now let's also get the coal online. So we'll have 1 here. We'll power you up. You up. You up. And we'll power you. Okay, so all the coal is powered. Let's go power up the sulfur. Actually, hold on. Can I actually make a geyser? I can. Interesting. And it averages 400 megawatts of power. It's not bad. Yeah, so the sulfur is right here. Acid, which am I even going the right way? It makes nitric acid, which is a product that I need for making turbo fuel. For making rocket fuel. Okay, so those are all done. We are basically up to, yeah, that's like 8,000 megawatts of power right now. So hopefully, yes. All now let's go build our assemblers. Figure out where we're going to put those. We might try to build the assemblers. So you kind of want like this whole power plant to go up. Like you want to build the power plant where all the production is on the bottom, and then the rest of the production is on top. Like the yeah. Okay. So I say like right there looks to be a very good starting location. Yes, perfect. So this is where we will build all 42 assemblies. Alright. So, you have coal, you have sulfur. So, we need... So that's 16. Yes, I want this space here in the middle to be. Okay, so there's all of the. There is 4. That's 32. Right, so there's 40. So now we gotta get this all the way over to There's 41 and 42. So there's 42, so I don't have to worry about those anymore. Perfect. There's 42 compacted coal. All belted on. Now we have to get this. Oh my god, this one's facing the wrong way. So, now we have to get this. Perfect. Look at that one's done. Alright, now they're all belted up. Now the only thing I have to do now is get all of the compacted coal. I don't even know how much this is supposed to. This is all 42 of these are 630 megawatts of power. So the sulfur is going to come from that way. The coal is going to come from up there. Alright, so that's all belted together. Now I have to... These are all going to go away. Alright, so now... Alright, cool. That turned all of those on. So that's good. Alright, at least now I can float around this whole place. Alright, now we just need a bunch of markers. So all the coal is now, all I have to do now is just belt all of the belts together. And all of the compacted coal is now onto one belt. And just gotta hook up the coal and the sulfur lines, and then this part of the project is complete. So this is like my other designs where it's a manifold, meaning it starts in one section, it fills up all the machines. Once it fills up all the machines, it moves on to the next machine. And the reason why we did this one first is because, like I said, I'm not trying to kill my whole power grid before I even start. And two, I want this system to basically be overfilled before I turn on the whole machine, because I want basically this to be this to not have to worry about Alright. That is done. This is the most machines like this is literally one section of the power plant. And this is just making compacted coal. Exactly. Okay, now let's get 5 belts. The plant will get insanely larger, yes. pull is going down, and there it goes. You know, it would help if I actually cleaned it up the belts. Yeah, as you can see, this is why I wanted to run first, because it's not even going anywhere over here yet. So I wanted to fill up, run, make its stuff. Alrighty. A compacted coal is complete. That was fun. Alright, so the actual coal is all done and over with. Now we just gotta wait for the sulfur. There's the sulfur. It's moving. Well, actually, hold on. We'll just do this first. So it doesn't actually make anything. It just fills up the system. Yeah, we'll wait for it to fill up the system first. Alright, so the coal is now, and the sulfur is all in the system. So now it just has to connect to that, and everybody makes compacted coal. And we are making Alright, so compacted coal is now completed. This whole system will fill up and then stop running. And we are at about 8,000 megawatts. Alright. You got sulfur coming from that side. You got coal coming from this side. It is going into these systems, and it makes 25 compacted coal a minute. Times that by 42, and you are looking at 1,050 compacted. We are making 1,050 compacted coal a minute. But technically, we're only making 780 a minute because this isn't a Mark 6 belt. But these will all turn off once these make its maximum capacity of 100. But that's done. Next on the list, we have an hour to see if we can do this. An hour. We have to make nitric acid. Now, nitric acid requires blenders. So we have 1,500 nitrogen gas. I need a bigger blender. Okay, so nitric acid requires 120 gas a minute. We have 1,500. So if we have 1,500, divide that by 120, we need 12 blenders. So that means we are going to need 360 water a minute, which is only 3 water extractors. And we're going to need 120 iron plates minutes. I don't have a blender. Oh, crud. I don't have a blender recipe. I'm a blender blueprint. But we are going, since the nitric acid is here, and the water is here, we are going to build the blender facility right above our... Well, I have to watch out for this thing, because the coal goes into... The compacted coal actually has to go somewhere. So the compacted coal goes into the... the compacted coal goes into the rocket fuel, goes into the next level above the fuel level to make turbo fuel. So, the compacted fuel is going to have to go up a floor, of course. So actually, we could probably make it go this way. So we're going to need to, of course, need 12 blenders. I would like to make a floor. it just has to move over. Okay. And then this will just have to go that way. Okay. Now, I'm gonna need. So if I need 12, and I'm gonna have 3 pipes of nitrogen gas. No, I have 4 pipes of nitrogen gas. Okay. So nitrogen gas is gonna come from there. So we need to prepare. You got 1, 2, 3. There's 4. So let's prepare it this way first. So we're gonna have a Mark 1 pipe on the bottom. We're gonna have a Mark 2, Mark 2, Mark 2. I could have made a blueprint out of this, but I didn't. Right. We're gonna have to make a turn, because I think... Yeah, we're gonna have to make a turn. And that's gonna flip. Alright, so the Mark 1 belt. Perfect. Mark 2 belts. Perfect. Mark 3 belt. Perfect. 4 belts. As you can tell, I'm trying to make these, I'm trying to make this like the nicest build I've ever made, where things aren't like spaghettied everywhere. Of course, my trains have collided. What day would it be if they didn't collide? Okay, so the nitrogen gas is all the way up there, actually. So hold on. We might have to make another turn. Oh, we're gonna have to make another turn. Yeah, we're gonna have to go this way. Alright, let's figure out the nitrogen gas. So nitrogen gas is here. Okay, so what are you? You are 300 amendments. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so you are going to be. So we'll make you go to that one. Then you are also 300 a minute. So we're gonna junction this one here. And we're gonna do this. You're gonna be a 300. You're gonna be a 300. Okay, perfect. Next is this one. You are 150. So you're gonna come this. Be as straight as possible. Since you're the 150 one, you into that. Now, what other ones are 150? You're 150. Okay. It's gonna be a junction here. You're 150. Go to that. Alright, so now I have. Oh, I made a mistake. It's only supposed to be 3 pipes, not 4. You're at 300. You're at 300. Okay. Alright, so I need this one. Alright, perfect. Alright, now we just need. Alright, so 300 still on the bottom. The. Alright, now we just have to. just have to make it go down this way. Perfect. Okay, what we really should do is place a shortcut. On the next wheel. Yeah. Place a shortcut. Next wheel. Yeah. Place a shortcut. This wheel. Place a shortcut. Okay. Now this has nitrogen gas. And the cool part about gas, you don't have to worry about pumps because it's a gas. Now we're gonna bring them down here. Yep, I know, all the trains are going to die. It's perfectly fine. Because I'm not in the process of... Alright, now we're gonna go across to here. Okay, now we're gonna go to... Go here. There, we're gonna go here. Perfecto. Okay. Well, without pumps, it just doesn't give me a headache. No, no, no. We got 1, 2. 3 water extractors. Alright, so there's our water pipes. Doesn't mean that the water is going to be connected to it. We're going to have to move you guys. Actually, what we'll do, to make it easier on me, is we'll just do this. Okay. Now, you to one, you to two, you to three. One, two, three. Just because I really don't want any issues, we'll make more pumps. Okay. And now we just need power. We're going to upgrade you to a powerful level 3. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3. You're on. There. Alright, we have the water. Now the next thing we need is... Actually, this is the perfect location for it. Oh my god, it's like I planned this. But I didn't. We need the drone points. And this is iron plates. Alright, so we should be getting an iron plate. Alright, so now let's build 12 blenders. In rows of... We got 3 and 3, so we need rows of 4. We got 1, 2, Move you. There. Do this close. Human. Two. So there's one row of 4. Nitric acid, nitric acid, nitric acid, nitric acid. Perfect. One, 2, 4. One, 2, 3. 4. Alright. So. Alright, look, there's my first drone. And how much battery life do you have left? Okay, so. So this needs 4. We got 1,500. This side needs. Alright, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to turn these the other way. So we've got 1, 2, 3. I fit 4. We're gonna do it this way. One, 2, 3, So we're gonna do it. We're going to bring this pipe down here. Actually, first let's get the splitter. Water, you only need 30 water. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So we got 1 water there. 1 water there. Water there. Okay, water, oh, let's go with that. Yeah, so there's that. All that water is good to go. Okay, that works. Okay, now let's grab height. Ah. Alright, that's water is now done. Now we have to get the gas. Hmm. Alrighty. Uh, yeah, whatever. Okay. Just have to jump these up. Ah, no, that's gotta be. Okay, part one of getting all the nitric acid out is done. How much are we making? 30 a minute. So it's Mark 1 acid belts. So we need to make this straight. Okay, so that one's done. Alright. 12 blenders are done. Water is flowing through everything. Okay, why are you? Okay, you can unload your plates. Okay, so now we have to power this whole darn thing up. Okay. Alright, so we'll have one here. We'll have one here. And then we'll have one. And now the blenders are online. The nitric acid is flowing. This should be filling up with nitric acid once it flows down. Actually, we might just have to make this like a... There we go. Everything is flowing. The blenders are blending. Nitric acid is flowing down. And it's filling up. So we have completed step 2 and step 1 today of our 6. We gotta make fuel, turbo fuel, rocket fuel. So yeah, out of our 6 steps, we've completed 2 of them. And we are making 30 times... let's see, we got 30 times 12, making 360 nitric acid minutes. And that's just going to go in here to store it, so this all backs up and doesn't. Yeah, and it's got that, because this has the overflow of the nitric gas from over there. Now, what are we at power-wise right now with just this part running? 9,000 total for the whole planet. Yeah, that's why we're building these things in steps instead of turning them all on at one time. But that will do it for part 1 and 2 of our 6 parts build. The next one we are doing is we are going to put nitric acid. We're going to use wherever we got to figure out where this nitric acid's got to go. And then, because I have a whole thing, so let's map this out. Just give me a second. Let me pull up my modeler. And we will see what our next step is going to be. Okay, so the nitric acid goes into the turbo fuel. Into the rocket fuel blenders. So we've got 1,500 rocket fuel. So we've got 120 per minute there. And then we've got 360. Okay, so we've got so basically, we are going to need, our next step is to build 75 refineries for our so this compacted coal that we're making. We need to build 75 refineries up here. That's what we are going to do the next round. So before we do anything, we need to get this down to 75. And we're not going to worry about the blenders just yet. So our next goal here is the 75 refineries. That is going to take our coal, our compacted coal, a minute. We need that. So we're only going to need 750 motors, 750 case industrial beams, 2,200 steel pipes, and 1,500 copper sheets to build our 75 refineries. And it looks like these are already in this little time frame that we have, we've already filled up this 2,400. We're going to make this a Mark II, so we know. Alright, there we go. So our nitric acid has stopped working, which is perfectly fine. We're back down to 8,000. Yeah, we are back down to 8,000 megawatts. And Yep, 360 a minute is what's coming out of that pipe right there. That's going to go up 2 floors because the next floor is going to be our 75 refineries that will make compacted coal and fuel into turbo fuel, which then gets fed into about 20, we'll say like 25 blenders to make rocket fuel, but then the compacted coal as the byproduct is going to go down and merge into this coal, compacted coal list. So it will continue to filter into the system. But that is for next time. We might start it tonight. I do not know, but I hope you all enjoyed this episode of our mega power plant being built. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Autosave complete.